August 12th, 1985. A Boeing 747 brimming with holiday travelers glides over Japan's majestic mountains when a sudden earth-shattering explosion tears through the fuselage, igniting a desperate battle for survival. This is the saga of Japan Airlines Flight 123, the deadliest single aircraft disaster ever recorded. Welcome to Sky Spectrum, where we delve into air crash investigations to honor the lost and illuminate the future. It's the peak of Japan's Obon Festival, a sacred time to honor ancestors, and Tokyo's Haneda Airport pulses with families returning home. Japan Airlines Flight 123, destined for Osaka, carries 524 souls, 509 passengers spanning generations, and 15 crew. The aircraft JA8119, nicknamed Sunrise, is an 11-year-old veteran with 25,000 flight hours. Captain Masami Takahama, 49, a JAL stalwart with 12,400 hours, commands with First Officer Yutaka Sasaki, 39, and Flight Engineer Hiroshi Fukuda, 46, both highly experienced. At 6:12 p.m., JAL123 ascends into a golden sunset, passengers alive with festive anticipation for a 54-minute journey. Yet a concealed flaw from a repair 7 years prior hides in the tail, poised to unleash devastation. To unravel JAL 123's tragedy, we journey back to 1978. JA8119, a proud 747 in JAL's flagship, endured a tail strike during a rough landing in Osaka, damaging the rear pressure bulkhead, a vital shield between the cabin and tail. Boeing's repair team in Japan addressed it, but a grave mistake surfaced. They installed a single row of rivets instead of the required double row, compromising strength. JAL's routine inspections, spanning 12,000 flight cycles, overlooked this flaw. By 1985, JAL123 departs Haneda with a diverse passenger list: salarymen, families, and the iconic Q Sakamoto, whose sukiyaki top charts worldwide. Flight attendants led by purser Yumi Ochiai, a 25-year-old veteran, serve refreshments, oblivious to the peril. At 6:24 p.m., cruising at 24,000 feet over Sagami Bay, a thunderous explosion rocks the plane. The defective bulkhead bursts, ejecting the vertical stabilizer and slashing hydraulic lines. Oxygen masks drop as screams fill the air. In the cockpit, alarms wail as Captain Takahama, steady but urgent, declares an emergency. The crew confronts a 747 robbed of control, yawing chaotically, while passengers grip their seats in terror. The cockpit of JAL123 transforms into a war zone. The explosion obliterates the vertical stabilizer, crucial for directional stability, and severs all 4 hydraulic systems, disabling rudder, ailerons, and elevators. Captain Takahama, drawing on his fighter pilot roots, employs differential thrust manipulating engine power to steer a taxing method akin to paddling a canoe with one oar. The plane enters a phugoid cycle, oscillating between 20,000 and 26,000 feet. First Officer Sasaki tracks instruments, while Flight Engineer Fukuda verifies the hydraulic loss, their coordination a beacon of skill amid despair. Tokyo Air Traffic Control authorizes a return to Haneda, proposing Yokota Air Base, but Takahama seeks any safe landing to spare lives. In the cabin, Yumi Ochiai and her team, including 28-year-old Hiroko Yamanaka, comfort passengers, distributing masks. Some pen heartfelt notes. A mother writes, "Take care of each other," reflecting 1980s Japanese resilience. For 32 grueling minutes, JAL123's pilots defy odds to keep the 747 airborne. The jet veers over Tokyo Bay, then lurches toward Gunma Prefecture's rugged mountains. Captain Takahama's differential thrust staves off a spin, though phugoid cycles grow wilder. Passengers endure violent swings. Some pray silently, others clasp hands, while flight attendants maintain calm despite their dread. Tokyo controllers suggest Haneda vectors, but the plane's trajectory defies reason. At 6:50 p.m., Takahama reports a descent. The 747 grazes a ridge, snapping trees. At 6:56 p.m., it slams into Mount Takamagahara at 400 knots, erupting in flames. The crash shatters the jet, scattering wreckage over a mile. Of 524 aboard, 520 perish instantly. Rescue teams rush in, but the remote site 70 miles from Tokyo delays access for 14 hours. Astonishingly, 4 survive. Yumi Ochiai, 12-year-old Keiko Kawakami, and Hiroko Yoshizaki, with her daughter Mikiko, 8. Osaka Ridge unveils a grim tableau. Twisted metal, scattered luggage, and smoldering remnants strewn across the forest. Rescue teams, including Japan's self-defense forces, arrive at dawn on August 13th, awestruck to find 4 survivors amid the ruin. Yumi Ochiai, trapped beneath seats, recalls the crew's soothing efforts. Keiko Kawakami, hurled clear, clutches a tree for life. Hiroko and Mikiko Yoshizaki, sheltered by debris, endure severe injuries. The toll is 520 lives, including the cockpit crew and Q Sakamoto, whose global hit, Sukiyaki, silenced forever. Japan grieves deeply as Obon amplifies the sorrow. Investigators from Japan's Aircraft Accident Investigation Commission, aided by Boeing and NTSB, retrieve the black boxes. The flight data recorder charts wild swings, while the cockpit voice captures Takahama's resolute, "Hold on, we will make it." Evidence points to the rear pressure bulkhead's collapse from Boeing's 1978 repair flaw. Single rivets failed under pressure, undetected by JAL. The JAIC's 1987 report indicts Boeing's 1978 repair, where a single-row rivet setup weakened the bulkhead, triggering its rupture and tail loss. JAL faces scrutiny for missing this during maintenance, though the crew's 32-minute aerial feat with failed hydraulics earns acclaim. Public fury targets JAL, prompting President Yasumoto Takagi's resignation and executives' public bows, embodying Japan's collective accountability. Boeing settles with millions in compensation. Families erect a memorial at Osaka Ridge, lighting stone lanterns for the 520th. Survivors' stories linger. Yumi Ochiai
Pilot
returns to
training
advocate
expands with
safety,
hydraulic
while
failure
Keiko
scenarios,
Kawakami battles
mastering
survivor's
differential
guilt.
thrust inspired by
Oban's
Takahama.
spiritual weight adds a layer of mourning, with some sensing lingering souls. JAL123 ignites sweeping safety reforms. Boeing revises repair protocols, mandating double checks for pressure bulkheads. Airlines adopt rigorous schedules with ultrasonic scans to detect cracks. JAL becomes a safety pioneer by the 1990s. Pilot training expands with hydraulic failure scenarios, mastering differential thrust inspired by Takahama. Flight attendant programs enhance with Yumi Ochiai's leadership-shaping crisis response. The crash spurs airframe reviews, leading to hydraulic redundancy in modern jets like the Boeing 787. Japan's Aviation Authority tightens ICAO-aligned oversight, influencing safety in events like United 232's 1989 crash. JAL 123's cultural resonance in Japan deepens with its Obon timing, turning a festival into a national scar. Osaka Ridge memorials draw thousands yearly, their lantern lighting a tribute to the 520 lost. The disaster sparks debates on corporate accountability, reinforcing Japan's collective duty. JAL's apologies and victim aid set a crisis response standard. Survivors, Yumi Ochiai's testimony and Keiko Kawakami's resilience, embody hope, though trauma endures. Globally, JAL 123 shapes aviation culture, featured in manuals and documentaries, its legacy a warning of human error's toll. JAL 123's lessons reveal a systemic failure. A repair error missed during inspections led to 520 lives lost. Yet the crew's 32-minute battle and survivors' resilience highlight aviation spirit. This duality shapes stricter maintenance, advanced training, and a safety culture. Modern jets like the Airbus A350 benefit, but 737 MAX issues remind us of ongoing risks. The story keeps us vigilant. Aboard JAL 123, 509 passengers mirrored 1985 Japan, office workers, families for Obon, and Q Sakamoto, whose sukiyaki charmed millions. Newlyweds Hiroshi and Aiko Tanaka planned a family visit, their dreams cut short. Flight attendants Kenji Sato and Emi Kato aided until the end, leaving notes of courage on napkins. The crew's safety briefing, led by Takahama, overlooked the tale's flaw, deepening this human tragedy. 4 survivors defied the odds. Yumi Ochiai, trapped with a broken leg, comforted passengers until rescue. Keiko Kawakami, 12, clung to a tree after being thrown 100 feet, her fractures a survival mark. Hiroko Yoshizaki shielded her daughter Mikiko, 8, from debris, both injured but alive. Rescuers found them after 14 hours, their trauma lingering in nightmares. The JAI probe traced the 1978 repairs rushed rivet fix, missed by JAL to the bulkhead's failure. Black box data showed Takahama's 50 engine adjustments, a heroic effort. Lab tests confirmed fatigue cracks. This spurred safety reforms. Osutaka Ridge became a memorial. JAL's apologies reshaped accountability. And JAL123's legacy soars in safer skies today. Thanks for joining this journey on Sky Spectrum. Consider subscribing for more aviation stories.